People love the declining birth rate videos. Now, this says Canada's fertility rate has hit a record low. What's behind the drop? I don't really like that they call it fertility rate because it implies that women are having an issue getting pregnant versus women are just opting out and choosing not to get pregnant. That's what it implies to me. Regardless, let's get into the article. It says Canada's fertility rate, which has been steadily declining, has hit a record low, and the country is now among the lowest low fertility rates. Statistics Canada released new data on Wednesday showing that the Canadian fertility rate in 2023 was 1.26 children per woman, which is the lowest recorded level since the agency began collecting data. The record low fertility rate was registered across the country in 10 of the 13 provinces and territories. Fertility rate is an estimate of the average number of live births a woman can be expected to have in her reproductive life, according to StatCan. In 2022, the fertility rate had already fallen to a record low 1.33 children per woman, but that record has now been broken again. This decline from 2022 to 2023 mostly reflects an increase in the number of women of childbearing age in 2023, as the number of births was similar in both years. So it sounds like more women are aging into the childbearing years according to the data, but young women are opting out of having babies. It has been the 18 and 20 somethings the teens and the 20 somethings that have been declining steadily, and it has been glorious to see. In total, 477 babies were born in Canada last year, which is similar to the number from 2022. And oh, look at the little babies. Oh, okay. Why is Canada's fertility rate declining? With the new data on fertility, Canada joins the group of lowest low fertility countries that have a rate of 1.3 children per woman or less. A StatCan report published in January said Canada, like other countries, is riding the fertility pandemic roller coaster, with more families putting off having children. Given the COVID-19 pandemic initiated a period of public health crisis as well as economic and societal shocks, it is possible that a segment of the population responded to this period of widespread uncertainty via their childbearing choices. Experts also point to prolonged economic uncertainty, the high cost of living, lifestyle changes, and work decisions for the drop in births. It's been tight for a lot of people. Inflation certainly hasn't helped. For some couples looking at their paychecks, looking at their expenses, they're saying, maybe now is not an ideal time to have kids. Don Kerr, a demographer at King's University College at Western University in London, Ontario, told Global News in January. It is estimated that on average, 1 in 6 Canadians experience infertility, according to the Canadian Fertility and Andrology Society. Advocates say there are barriers to getting timely and affordable care, with long wait times and limited healthcare options. Premature birth rising. StatCan also reported that the rate of premature births has increased over the past 3 decades. In 2023, it reached its highest level in 50 years at 8.3%. Preterm or premature birth is when the baby is born before 37 weeks of pregnancy are completed. Babies that are born prematurely are at an increased risk of illness, hospitalization, and death. The increase in the rate of premature births could be related to the higher proportion of older mothers, as risk of a premature birth increases as the age of the mother increases. Last year, 26.5% of the mothers were aged 35 and older, compared with 10.7% in 1993. So, adding that little piece into this lets me know that they need to ladle this on older mothers. Yet, they know that the economy is terrible right now. They know that the cost of living is terrible right now. They know that access to healthcare is not wonderful right now. Housing shortage, all of this. So why would people that are like in their 20s have children right now? What are they talking about as far as making things easier financially, child care, making sure that men are all in with participating in the household and the caretaking of children. Where is that? Women who are of a certain age probably have a little bit more financial foundation, work experience, and a little bit more stability. So that is the reason why women in their 30s are the ones that are choosing to have babies if they have babies. The trend line for the 20 somethings and teenagers has been declining, and people should be cheering because for a certain demographic for a certain amount of time, it's been if you can't afford a baby, don't have a baby. So they're not having babies because they can't afford a baby. So people need to get their mind right, get some sense about themselves, and try to figure out why is it that they can't have babies when they're broke and when the services aren't there. How are they going to support these babies? All right, y'all. Join the conversation. Y'all know that I love talking about these plummeting birth rate stories in Canada. I didn't know Canada was sitting less than 1.3. We're going to keep watching these because here in America, here in the United States, we still are allowing immigration. I think that without the immigration that we do have, that our birth rate would probably mirror Canada. All right, y'all, join the conversation. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. So this is a story from Business Insider. Okay, I had to chuckle a little bit because this just seems like this will be very counterproductive. Russia is considering a law to fine people thousands of dollars for promoting a child-free lifestyle. Russia's parliament is working on a new law that would fine people the equivalent of thousands of dollars for promoting a child-free lifestyle, a close ally of Russian President Vladimir Putin said. Vyacheslav Volodin, the chairman of the State of Duma, Russia's lower house, said on Telegram that Russian legislatures have begun to consider legislation that would outlaw childlessness propaganda. The proposed law would ban the dissemination of material on the internet, in movies, and in advertising that encourages a conscious refusal to have children, Volodin said per Reuters. It would also impose fines of up to 400,000 rubles, or about $4,300, for individuals found guilty of sharing such content. 800,000 rubles for state officials who do so, up to 5 million rubles for companies that share it. Please know and understand, I can share it for you because they can't really do anything to me. So if you need to share some information and have me share it, I will go ahead and share it. I will hashtag Russia. I will make sure to @Russia and all of that. Volodin said the fines would be similar to those put in place as part of a Russian anti-LGBTQ law passed in 2022, which criminalized the promotion of what Russia considers non-traditional sexual relations. He said the so-called child-free movement undermined the institution of family, which may be contributing to Russia's low birth rate. That's what's contributed to it, not war, not economic instability and sanctions, not a highly patriarchal society, not the history of DV in households. No, it's the childlessness propaganda. Okay, sure, Jan. Russia has been in a demographic crisis for years, and the war in Ukraine has made the situation worse. Russia's birth rate hit a 25-year low for the first half of this year. In an effort to combat this, Russia has tried a variety of incentives to boost the number of babies being born, including one-off payments for Russian mothers who have 10 or more children. You got to get up to 10, though. You got to get up to 10. Imagine you can get the payment after the 10th baby. Man, that just seems so amazing. A friendly and large family is the basis of a strong state, Volodin said in his Telegram post. Per Reuters, he wrote, groups and communities on social networks often show disrespect for motherhood and fatherhood and aggression towards pregnant women and children, as well as members of large families. Earlier this month, Nina Ostinina, the head of Russia's Committee for the Protection of Families, told a state news agency that Russia needed to conduct another operation to counter falling birth rates. She likened it to the war in Ukraine, describing it as just like a special military operation, a special demographic operation. Now, they need you to have these babies so they can keep on sending them out to war because obviously you need to create more, more soldiers. So it makes sense to me. Or they could stop the war with Ukraine and let their country heal and stop being aggressive and trying to push into other nations. They could do that. All right, y'all. Hopefully, you guys laughed at this with me. Go ahead, have 10 kids. I mean, you're probably not doing anything else, but join the conversation. Leave me a comment. If you need me to pass on some childlessness propaganda, I can. I can be found at Bourbon Bougie, like my handle, on most social media platforms. The best is Instagram or Reddit. All right, y'all. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.